afternoon, this is Carl Hitchcock from Iris here at our UK headquarters, and today I want to talk to you about this little guy here. This is a Balun, and we supply these specifically with our NightRunner camera, and you can also get them and use them with other cameras if you need to. Just give us a call, give us an email, and we can talk you through them. The Balun is essentially a real simple way of enabling you to use Cat5 cable to take your power to the camera and the data from your joystick to your camera and to deliver the video back all along a single Cat5 cable. Benefits of Cat5, obviously it's very, very cheap. It's very, very small in terms of its outside diameter, so it's easy to install. With a regular PTZ camera setup, you have power, video and data all on separate cables, and especially in retrofits, that's a real pain to pull those cables for a conduit. Single Cat5 cable can eliminate all those problems. So when you come from the camera back to your control room or your helm end, you want to break out that Cat5 cable into its individual signals, then you use one of these guys. Balun stands for balance unbalance, and it's referring actually to the video element of that signal. It balances the 75 ohm 1 volt peak to peak signal to a frequency that can be transmitted along the different type of wire that you get in Cat5 cable. In the NightRunner, for example, you have a Balun built into the base of the camera, and then, as I say, back at the helm position, the Cat5 plugs into here, and then it breaks out accordingly. Now, if I take you through this, at the business end, if you like, is this small little box here which has your RJ45 connector on it. So coming from the camera, your Cat5 will plug into here, and then at the other end of the Balun you have these three tails. We have your BNC connector there for your video, your 2.1 DC barrel jack there for your power, and then you have these two plain cores here for your RS485 serial data. Now, going to the video signal, it's a 75 ohm 1 volt peak to peak composite video signal. So NightRunner, for example, is already supplied with a 2 meter tail that plugs into this and the relevant BNC jack, so you can all connect up together. But basically you can take video directly out of here, route it into your chart plotter, into your DVR or your video switcher, or into your TV, or however else you're going to process your video. For example, some people also route these directly into a single channel network video server if you want to turn your NightRunner into an IP camera. Moving on to the power, as I said, it's a very, very standard DC power jack. The actual NightRunner itself is supplied with one of these guys. These are really, really handy. We use these for power and for data as well. With this guy, you can plug it directly in there, and you can come off of your power panel, your 24 volts or your 12 volts, go directly into here. The screw terminals are marked up with a polarity, so you just look and see which wire goes where. Make sure you get your polarity right. And then moving on to your data wires. 2 wires here, designed for RS485 serial communication. The conductor there, the center conductor, has a white sheath, and that's designed for your RS485A or your plus. And the braid here, which is tin nicely at the end there, is for your RS485B or your ground, if you like. Obviously terminology changes with RS485. A lot of people use different terminology, but essentially your white wire there is your plus, and your braid there is your negative. Again, we supply a set of these connectors with a NightRunner that you can use for your data as well. So you could screw your data wires into the female jack there, and it comes with a male jack, plug it in, and then connect it to your controller. Now, if I move on to the controller, here we have the 595 controller. I'm sure you're all familiar with these by now. It's the same form factor as the 516, just running different software. Coming out of the controller here, we have 4 wires, and it's printed on a handy sticker on the back here. The polarity of the wires is printed there for you, so you can always refer back to that. But essentially you have a red and black wire there for your DC 12 volts. So red is plus 12, your black is the ground there. And then you have the white and green wires for your data. The green wire is for your RS485 plus, and the white wire is for your RS485 ground. Now, believe it or not, this is one of the most frequent causes for failures with these products, is people wire these up wrongly. And maybe possibly because with RS485 color conventions, red and black mean A and B. And that obviously gets confused with your DC color conventions, because DC also uses red and black for plus 12 volts and ground. So just be aware when you're wiring this up, double check, refer to the back of the unit if you need to, but just go over it again. Red is your DC 12 volts, black is your DC ground, green is your RS485A, and white is your RS485B. So if you are wiring that up, we'll ignore the power. If we're wiring the data up now to your NightRunner, for example, you would take your Balun here with the data tail there, and you'd connect your green wire on the 595 controller up to the white center core of the data wire, and you connect your white wire here, which is the RS485B, up to the braid there. A little bit confusing because obviously white goes to braid and green goes to white, but as long as you follow those rules, you're not going to have any problems. Now with RS485 communications, if you get the polarity wrong, there's never any problems, and there's protection built into these units to make sure that if you mix the data up, it's not a problem. But where we do have problems is if people put power down the data wires. So what we found in quite a few situations is people are putting DC power down the white and green wires of the controller. Now that is going to blow the data circuit up. So the controller will still boot up, you'll still be able to work your way through the menus, but when you wiggle your joysticks or press your buttons, nothing's going to happen. So you've got to be really careful to keep power off of the data wires on your controller. Thanks.